Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again today. Listen, yesterday I read to you 1 Peter 1:3. It says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who, according to his abundant mercy, has begotten us again to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead." And I talked about hope, and I just talked about how bleak and dim life can get, and how we need hope. And I have to tell you that for me, whatever the circumstance that drags me down, whatever the circumstance that knocks me in the mud, whatever the circumstance that brings discouragement or makes me want to just throw up my hands and quit, whatever it is that comes against me, the one thing that gives me hope and helps me to keep moving forward and to keep pressing on more than anything else is that I know that this life isn't all there is. It's that I know and I believe that there is something better awaiting for us, and that this life is just the precursor. I don't even know if it's that. It's just the preparation stage for what God has waiting for us. So it is through this living hope in His Son, and so I'm just going to read the rest of this after verse 3. So he says, He's given us a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, to an inheritance that's incorruptible, undefiled, and never fades away, and it's reserved in heaven for you. That we have a future in heaven that never goes bad, it never rots, it never decays, it never loses its luster, it's incorruptible, it's undefiled, it never fades away, and it is reserved in heaven for you. It is reserved. God's children, God's people have a reservation in heaven that is reserved for them, that will not be taken away. Verse 5, reserved in heaven for you, the end of verse 4, verse 5, who are kept by the power of God through faith for salvation, ready to be revealed at the last time. So I like verse 5 because it says, it's reserved in heaven for you who are kept by the power of God. Let me tell you something. I blow it all the time. I make mistakes all the time. I fail God all the time. I fail miserably all the time. I fall into discouragement and I fall into darkness. But let me tell you something. My reservation in heaven is reserved for me, and I am kept by the power of God. It's God's job to keep me saved, not my job to keep me saved. I find great comfort in that. I find great release in that. Not release to just do whatever I want to do, but I find great comfort in knowing every time I fail that I can begin again and that I can start over. Every time I'm discouraged, I can look to the future and know that God has something reserved for me, and He is keeping me. He has reserved it, and He is keeping me, and He's going to bring me to it. He says, "In this you greatly rejoice," verse 6, which I do. He says, "But now, though now for a little while, if need be, you might be grieved by various trials." We're going to have hardships in this world. We're going to have hardships in this life. Jesus says, in this world, you will have tribulation. He says, but so we're going to be grieved by trials, so that the genuineness of your faith, being more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Listen, here's what's happening through all these trials and through all this stuff that you're going through. God is purifying your faith. God is strengthening your faith. He's building your faith. He is preparing you for the place that He has for you. He is conforming you into the image of His Son, and He is making your faith precious, and He is making your faith pure. And we go to these places where we have no hope and we feel hopeless, and that's when we fall on our face before the Lord, and that's when we trust Him with all of our heart, and we don't lean on our own understanding. So it is through this that He purifies our faith. I want to say one other thing that about trials that we suffer here. That's not in this verse, but it's just something that I've found true in life. I've found in life that people who have been through some of the darkest, deepest, hardest trials and darkness in their lives are some of the most compassionate and graceful people that I've ever met. You see, when you've suffered through the hard times, you know how to be compassionate to those who are walking through those times as well. Hey, not Psalm, you say in Psalms, right? 1 Peter 1, 3 through 7. Give it a read. Give it a memorize it. It's worth memorizing. and use it to get out there in faith today. Love you guys. God bless you. Bye.